Cinder fall. Okay, we just passed through the rock tunnel, very long tunnel. Now we get into Lavender Town. Okay, in Lavender Town, we figure out what we should do in Lavender Town. So this. So maybe we can go here with the fit some trainers around here first. Nice. 35 under. Let's see. Hypnosis. Missing. My shade. Ay, ay, ay. Damn. And dance. Watercolor. Man. Miami. Level 30. Yep. Okay, cool. Let's see, go back to Chashao Pokemon. Okay, so now go back here. I remember I have a few channels somewhere here. Yep, here this guy. Uh, so what a good. Um, um, sleep, huh? Woke up, poisonous. Nope. Good job. Nice. Good to you.
Zach, what are you seeing? What are you hearing?
Hey, it's good to be with you.
Oh, I'm
It's just so
struggling.
surprising to see how many people continue to
Um,
be at
oh,
10:30,
man.
10:40 at night. We're 7 hours away. We're told the IDF is giving us somewhat of an idea of what this is going to look
Oh,
like, that we could start seeing some of these brothers and sons that have been hostage for more
oh,
than almost
man.
740 days should start returning
Oh,
in the next 7 hours or so. While we're waiting, and while everyone is waiting, I wanted to introduce you. You
man,
did
nothing
your
do.
13. You're from the north of Israel. This has been 2 years
31.
of your 13 years on this earth, and in that 2 years of your life, this war has been difficult. So tell me how you're feeling today.
Yeah, so today I am feeling bittersweet. I'm very excited because the hostages are coming home. It's very, very exciting.
Flamethrower
But that also
by
messes
him.
up with guilt because we don't want to go chase Israel. October 7th hit me very, very hard. My uncle's best friend, David Newman, was
Man.
killed in the Nova Festival. So
Oi,
when
oi,
it
oi.
hit in the beginning of the war, I really noticed
Yeah.
the intensity of this situation, and it
For all of you guys at school, I heard you guys were talking about it before the holiday, and your teacher too. What is it like to be a student? Do you talk about it in school a lot?
Mm.
yes, we talk about it. My teacher goes very often off to Yom, so it's really hard. A lot of the kids in my class also follow my father as well. He's in the army and at school. He talked to us about it. Every morning we have 1 minute about hostage. We talk about it every
Okay.
morning, which is really meaningful, and we never forget that still hostages.
And what are you going to do when you see that helicopter coming in Tel Aviv tomorrow?
It's really gonna be
Picky.
just a big
Pitchy.
emotional roller coaster. It's gonna be so exciting.
This
I'm
is,
gonna be so happy.
man.
But yeah.
Thank you, Judy. It's the kind of incredible stuff we continue to hear here. This is somewhat of a ground zero now. This is where everyone for the last 2 years has come to mourn loved ones. The families have a dedicated center, hostage families inside this building here, and we remember the times when they would literally put tents here. Hostage families would sleep here, waiting for their loved one. That sign behind me says 736 days. I wonder what they're going to do with it tomorrow. They're going to stop that clock. We're going to see tomorrow morning. And
Yeah, Zach Anders, thank you. Incredible story with that young boy. We'll check in with you throughout the afternoon. For now, let's bring in a friend. He's the president of the Zionist Organization of America, Mort Klein. Mort, always great to see you. Welcome in.
Great to be with you, man. It's great to see you.
You know, it's a wonderful day, obviously, but then you hear that 13-year-old boy talk about family friends who were murdered at that music festival and the terror attack October 7th. And every single day, these children are talking about it in school. It's wonderful that they're remembering, but it has to be traumatizing for so many people what they've been through.
Look, this is a day of enormous gratitude and excitement.
Almost.
The Israeli people, decent people all over the world, thrilled that the 20 hostages remain alive in the hands of the Islamic terrorist Hamas group are going to be released. But there are many people who are talking privately. You don't hear about this publicly. In fact, no Jewish group is mentioned.
Hey,
There's a big
yeah.
deal here, though. Part of this deal is releasing 2,000 terrorists.
You're so lucky.
150 have been convicted of military confrontation. In our experience in the past, Israel's experience, where they released thousands of terrorists in the past, 82% have gone back to the terrorists. This is a Cinder study. 82%. Uh, Dozens of these people became leaders of Hamas. Sinwar, the head of Hamas, was released in Spain years ago. And the founder of Hamas, Yassin, was released in such a situation. So we're very worried that these people will end up committing more terrorism, killing more Jews than we're saving today. In
Yeah.
fact, and we look today, in the 47% of Gaza that Israel has now released to the Gaza area, 7,000 Hamas terrorists are now there taking control of it as we speak. So Hamas is not dead. They're there taking control of
Yes.
it.
Yes, it's an important reminder, absolutely, more, pardon me. But also the positive side, obviously, that you mentioned at the beginning of your comments, I want to put up on the screen. The Jerusalem Post honoring President Trump a couple of days ago with this striking front page, a silhouette of his face with the hostages there. ones that are live are going to be released any hour now. Talk about your joy as well. As much as we have to be on edge and we've got to stay on our toes about the threat of terror, not just in the Middle East but around the world. Your joy tonight.
What happened?
He's got a Tourette syndrome or something.
People who endured
Hmm.
extraordinary torture, rape, for 2 years now are finally going to be free. I hope and pray that they'll be able to be nursed back to health. I'm sure the health is not great right now. No, this is true. This was Christians being released. If this was Black Africans being released, I would be equally ecstatic. But as a Jew, I feel special feeling for my brothers and sisters that are being released. So I couldn't be happier about that. And I'm also hoping that maybe this will lead to deals, to peace deals with other Arab countries. I'm hoping that can happen. So despite my concerns about the 2,000 terrorists being released, the Hamas now controlling half of Gaza, but it is a day to celebrate, and we're worried about the concerns in the next few days, not today.
A big night of celebration. Mark Klein, we appreciate your insights. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. Great to see you.
Good to see you coming up. The UK now wants to take credit for the Israel-Hamas peace deal. But what role did they really play? We discuss that next, right here on Newsmax.
You know Rob Finnerty. He's smart, bold, and stands strong for your values. Rob is fighting for you. Watch Finnerty weeknights only on Newsmax.
He began life with two premonitions. The first, that he'd be great at what he did. The second, that he would die young. Both were correct. Roberto Enrique Clemente Walker was born in Barrio San Anton in Puerto Rico on August 18, 1934. The youngest of 7 children, he spent his youth working alongside his family in the sugarcane fields. In February of 1954, his baseball skills were discovered by the Brooklyn Dodgers and brought to America, where he was befriended by fellow bilingual players Chico Fernandez, Tommy Lasorda, and Joe Black. The following year, he signed with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and a baseball legend was born. During the 58 offseason, Roberto Clemente enlisted in the United States Marine Corps Reserve. 5 years later, he married Vera Zabala, and the couple had 3 children. The future 4-time National League batting champion, 2-time World Series champion, and winner of 12 Gold Glove Awards, played in 15 All-Star games and ended with a major league career of 3,000 hits and a batting average above 300. However, Roberto Clemente's championship qualities did not end on the ball field. Clemente, a devout Catholic, spent his off-seasons tirelessly organizing charitable efforts to aid those in need throughout Latin America. Following the
individually or in concert, will find the use of force not only necessary, but morally justified. For make no mistake, evil does exist in the world. A nonviolent movement could not have halted Hitler's armies. Negotiations cannot convince Al-Qaeda's leaders to lay down their arms. To say that force may sometimes be necessary is not a call to cynicism, it is a recognition of history, the imperfections of man, and the limits of reason. The United States of America has helped underwrite global security for more than 6 decades with the blood of our citizens and the strength of our arms. We have borne this burden not because we seek to oppose our will. We have done so out of enlightened self-interest, because we seek a better future for our children and grandchildren, and we believe that their lives will be better if others' children and grandchildren can live in freedom and prosperity.
Just before Charlie Kirk died, he issued a stark warning of terrifying dangers ahead. Charlie wrote this in the foreword for the new book, Pagan Threat, by Pastor Lucas Miles. Charlie said that Pagan Threat could save America, and that you must read and share this book. A #1 Amazon bestseller, Pagan Threat is available everywhere. Get Pagan Threat free with Newsmax's special offer and save $30. Go online today and read Charlie's final words.
9:47 a.m. on the 20th of February, 1962, Lieutenant Colonel John Glenn Jr. of New Concord, Ohio, found himself sitting on top of an Atlas VI rocket filled with 600,000 pounds of fuel. At liftoff, 360,000 pounds of thrust hurled the massive rocket and its occupant into space, and America's history books. John Glenn became the 4th human being to enter space, and the first American to orbit the Earth. For his remarkable heroism, President Kennedy awarded Colonel Glenn NASA's Distinguished Service Medal.
As our knowledge of this universe in which we live increases, may God grant us the wisdom and guidance to use it wisely. Thank you.
Glenn went on to become the United States Senator from Ohio, and in 1984 ran for the Democratic presidential nomination, but lost to Walter Mondale.
The press won't report the real story.
The American people are actually very smart.
Ridiculous statements.
These guys are just plain weird.
Actual scandals.
Even the immunity decision. Yeah, that decision was so misreported.
That's my job. And I aim to do it every night.
Okay, welcome back. Over the weekend, the Gaza ceasefire brokered by the president sparked a historic moment as thousands of displaced Gazans surged north to reclaim their homes. The video you see on the screen captures families crammed in their trucks, waving Egyptian and Palestinian flags, part of a 100-truck Egyptian aid effort to ferry people from southern Gaza to shattered cities like Gaza. Let's welcome in now live Missouri Congressman Mark Alford. He's a member of the powerful House Appropriations Committee. Congressman, always good to see your reaction, because the point of that is you see people on the Palestinian side celebrating. We've been talking about the Israeli side, the hostages who will be coming out any hour now. It was one man, President Trump, who brought these sides together.
And you're exactly right. Thanks for having me on. This is not just an ordinary peace deal. This is a liberation of an entire people, the people of Gaza. Millions of people who have been under the hammer, who've been under the persecution of the Hamas terrorist organization. They're finally being liberated because of the efforts of Donald J. Trump. It's going to be very similar, I think, to the liberation of those in Europe after the Nazis fell. And you know, no one could have done this but Trump. Benjamin Netanyahu did the best he could to go in. He was hamstringed somewhat by the Biden administration. We approved in Congress armaments to go in to finish off Hamas, and Biden did not use those, did not approve those to go to Netanyahu to finish off with the IDF to finish off Hamas. Nevertheless, I think they've been severely decapitated. There are several thousand Hamas fighters left. They've got to lay down their arms, or this is not going to be a good deal.
That's right. Well, Congressman, we've got the president departing the White House any You see Air Force One is all gassed up and ready for in the last 30 seconds we have. What do you think he might say? The reception he might get in the Knesset tomorrow? I mean, they've been handing out MAGA hats and hostages swear this man is going to be received pretty well.
Well, I've heard Benjamin Netanyahu speaking to a joint session of Congress, and it was amazing. The Democrats didn't like him. They booed him down. We have an inextricable link with the nation of Israel. I'm firm in my heart believe that part of the reason we're here as a nation is to support the state of Israel. And now that it looks like there's hope at least for having a peaceful nation. That's all that Israel has ever wanted. They just want to live in peace. Imagine, Ed, if you had someone behind you in your neighborhood, someone to the left and to the right and across the street, all just didn't want you there. They wanted you dead. That is what Israel has been facing, and now they're for freedom. Thanks to Donald J.
Yeah, the stakes are enormous, and it's just one man that we're moving forward with peace. Congressman Mark Alford, thanks for your time tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Ed.
All right, our special coverage continues right now. All right, welcome back. Live one, joint base Andrews in Maryland, not far from the White House. It's the second hour of Newsmax's live special coverage of President Trump's big visit to the Middle East. I'm Ed Henry reporting tonight. The president about to take off in just a few moments. We're still awaiting his departure from the White House, making 2 stops, as I mentioned, on this historic visit. First, Israel, where he will meet with the hostage families and maybe freed hostages themselves. We're waiting any hour now for the remaining hostages to be released. He will also, on Monday, address Israel's Knesset. Then a final stop at Egypt. At least that's all the schedule says for now, although this president tends to have it ad hoc and keep going. And in Egypt, he will cement his historic ceasefire and peace deal as he leads the summit there. And that's where we normally find our White House correspondent at the White House, where the president will depart in a moment, Mike Carter. But today, he is live in Tel Aviv and Hostages Square, where crowds have been gathering, as you know, for hours to celebrate the imminent return of Israeli hostages. Mike, good evening. What are you seeing there?
Good evening, and the crowd here is filled with hope, with a lot of promise for what's about to take place just hours from now here in Israel. Of course, it has been 736 days, 17 hours, 29 minutes, and 47 seconds since those 48 hostages, 20 believed to still be alive, were initially captured by Hamas. And of course, the entire world has been waiting for more than 2 years for their safe return. Here in Hostage Square, we've seen a number of sights over the last couple of days, including Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff speaking to a crowd of more than 500,000 on Friday night. And we did hear from Benjamin Netanyahu tonight, the Prime Minister of Israel, who had a message for the Israeli people and for the world. Netanyahu saying, tomorrow the sons will return to their borders. Tomorrow is the beginning of a new path, a path of building, a path of healing, and a hope, a path of unifying hearts. All right, we're here at Hostage Square, and we wanted to talk to some people who've been affected by this tragedy. Everyone in this country has. Neely, you're here with your 2 daughters. You were born here. You're an Israeli. Your daughter's here? All right, excellent. Girls, this is a momentous night. You're very young. How are you feeling on a night like this? It's been 736 days. This entire country and the world has been waiting for these people to arrive safely back home. President Trump promised to return these hostages back home. Tomorrow he's coming here and doing just that. What are your thoughts tonight when you think about the work that the Trump administration has put in and how your country is unified around?
I appreciate it very much. I'm really happy that it's happening, that finally the hostages are coming back. I feel like we've always been a nation that's been through so much, and like this is another historic thing. So yeah, I'm very happy, and at least appreciate Trump that. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Mom, Neely, you were born here in Israel. You spent time in America. You brought your girls there, back and forth. You understand the cultures in both societies. You know about what's been happening over the last 2 years and how this conflict here has both united people and divided them. What is the atmosphere? What are you telling your girls tonight? You put them to bed about what they can expect for tomorrow.
I told them to some people will come in and
It's a mixed emotions, right? I mean, you see the pictures of the hostages, the 20 remaining hostages, 48 in total. And again, Ed, we're expecting three different exchanges taking place tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. local time. That's 1 in the morning East Coast time in America. There will be two locations where hostages will be exchanged at 8 a.m. At 9 a.m., a third location, and that's when the Red Cross will bring those family members together with those hostages. Look, President of the United States arriving here tomorrow morning, right around that time, we could see an exchange where the president is there personally. He is slated to meet at the Knesset tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. and address Parliament here in Israel before heading to Egypt for that ceremony of signing of that peace agreement. It's phase one. There's a long road to go. The folks here in Hostages Square and throughout Israel tonight, very hopeful.
Yeah, hope indeed all around the world tonight. Mike will be following your reporting closely. Mike Carter live for us from Tel Aviv. Thank you. Joining us now live, Professor Emeritus, Harvard Law School, author of The Preventive State, Alan Dershowitz. Professor, thanks for coming in, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Seems like a defining moment, not just in this president's second term, but any president. Talk about where you put this in history tonight, sir.
Oh, it's a very, very important day. One thing I would add is President Kamala Harris and President Trump for presidency of the United States. This required a combination of the skills, the negotiating skills of President Trump and the military skills of the Israeli army. Without Israel's military successes in wiping out Hezbollah, destroying Hamas, turning nuclear reactor, I don't think negotiation would have been possible. So it's this wonderful combination of American diplomacy and military prowess from Israel that resulted in this great and important day. It also shows how important it is for the United States and Israel to work together, and how important it is for these idiots on college campuses to stop their protests and to stop calling for the end of Israel and to try to work together for a peaceful Middle East. Remember, these useful idiots on college campuses no interest in a Palestinian state or the Palestinian people. They just want to see the end of Israel. They want to see a Jewish state. They want to, if they could, see the end of the Jewish people. So this is hate versus constructive building, and I'm hoping maybe we can build on this and move toward a more permanent resolution with Saudi Arabia joining and Accords. All of this is a good step.
Well, you raise another important point, which is what of the state of the Free Palestine movement tonight, because we're hearing that Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas is expected now to be in Egypt as well with President Trump and other leaders in the region. And it's President Trump that is making sure aid is now getting into Gaza. At the same time, he's getting Israeli hostages freed. So where does that leave the Free Palestine movement that wants to wipe Israel off the map when it's an American president working with Israelis and the Palestinians to bring all of these important people together?
Well, there's several movements. There's the Free Palestine movement, which means the end of Israel. That's not getting anywhere. It will still resonate on college campuses. The Norwegian soccer team will scream and yell at the World Cup, Free Palestine, and Israel. European governments recognize not just the state of Palestine. That's not going to happen. The other alternative is a movement, maybe over 10 years, toward a two-state solution. But that two-state solution has to start with the Palestinians recognizing Israel's right to exist as the nation state of Jewish people. I've met with Mohammed Abbas personally just over here and asked them directly, would you recognize Israel as the nation state of Jewish people? And he said, absolutely not. So without that, we're not going to have a two-state solution, because what the extremists want is not two states, but one state. They want to see something called Palestine replace the viable state of Israel.
Yes, Professor, many thousands of people gathering in Hostages Square, as we mentioned tonight, as well as last night. Here was the scene last night when the names of President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu were brought up with.
And to President Donald J. Trump.
So you hear the cheers for President Trump there in Tel Aviv. We've heard about red MAGA hats being handed out there in Hostages Square. He's obviously very popular for all of these peace efforts. And the boost for Prime Minister Netanyahu when he's mentioned by the special envoy to the president, Steve Witkoff. What is your thought about the road ahead for the Prime Minister and what President Trump may say in the Knesset tomorrow to try to bring people together there as well?
Well, Israelis are very, very, very critical of their government. In fact, if we had the same situation in the United States, you probably could lose Trump and more fears for Netanyahu. Netanyahu did a great job in militarily making it possible for Trump to bring about a diplomatic solution. And, I wouldn't have any objection if both of them were nominated next year for the Nobel Peace Prize. Because one affects the other wouldn't work. It requires Israel's military strength combined with America's military strength, the B-2s and all of that. This was a combined victory of democracy over tyranny, of liberal democracy, I mean liberal with a small L, over tyranny, extremism. And when America and Israel work together, nothing can stop them. But when they divide, they are much, much weaker. And many Americans and many Israelis want to see them divided. They are foolish and they are self-defeating. So what we have to do is strengthen the unity of Israel and the United States against the enemies of both Israel and the United States. Scratch an anti-Zionist, and you're going to very quickly find an anti-American person. The vast hate America with a passion. AOC hates America. Elon Omer hates America. Mondani hates America.
Yeah.
And their hatred of Israel is often just a symptom of the hatred of America.
Mondani may be the next mayor of New York City. We shall see. Professor Alan Dershowitz on Historic Night. We appreciate your insights. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Meantime, where did all the pro-Palestinian protesters that the professor mentioned, where did they all go now? The far left can't stomach the fact that it was President Trump who brought all sides together and is now on the precipice of peace. And later, Vice President Vance addressing rumors about the post-war picture in Gaza. Just how many U.S. troops are headed to the region? And will those boots on the ground be in Gaza or not? We'll get into details after the break.
We must begin by acknowledging a hard truth. We will not eradicate violent conflict in our lifetimes. There will be times when nations, acting individually or in concert, will find the use of force not only necessary, but morally justified. For make no mistake, evil does exist in the world. A nonviolent movement could not have halted Hitler's armies. Negotiations cannot convince Al-Qaeda's leaders to lay down their arms. To say that force may sometimes be necessary is not a call to cynicism, it is a recognition of history, the imperfections of man, and the limits of reason. The United States of America has helped underwrite global security for more than 6 decades with the blood of our citizens and the strength of our arms. We have borne this burden not because we seek to oppose our will. We have done so out of enlightened self-interest, because we seek a better future for our children and grandchildren, and we believe that their lives
Gonna
will
go
be better
check the
if
clothes.
More than an hour long now.
Been an hour, hasn't it?
Double check, they maybe half. Nah, this is just 40 minutes so far. Still 20 minutes so long. Oh my, look at that, funny. Little bird to follow me. Oh man, this game still glitch here. Whatever. Funny. Let me use walk through walls. Let me save the game first. Yep, yep. Oh, so many words here. Why they make like that? Oh. Anyway, done that. They glitch over there. Finally, we get the Asian fly. Okay, we can stop the game right here.